LegalShield family, this is your servant CEO, Jeff Bell. I'd like to spend 5 minutes strong talking today about thinking for yourself. You know, it may seem self-evident, all of us, we're adults, but as we grow up as children in school and then also with our families, one of the most important things to remember is how to be independent in order to be successful and happy. So how do we think for ourselves? I believe there are 6 things that we can remind ourselves today during our time together. The first one is to remember that to be independent, to think independently, to think for yourself, you have to control your disciplined behaviors. You see, to be independent, you must have a strength of character. That character is going to be based on some disciplines. Obviously, being able to be on time for critical meetings and appointments, to be able to make a commitment and then fulfill that commitment, to be able to set a goal and then achieve that goal. These are disciplined behaviors that lead us to a strength of character. Being able to be considered a friend, loyal, trustworthy, a person of our word. All of those things are critical to independence. The second thing I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how thinking independently, by definition, makes you a leader. To be a leader, I want you to think about not being only one leader, the leader, a leader. You're a leader among leaders. Think about it like that, in the sense that you need to contribute. You need to lead. You need to be able to take the initiative to think for yourself, but also recognize that you can constantly be learning from others, that you're listening. You're a lifelong learner. So to be independent doesn't mean that you're alone. It means that you want to think of yourself as leading among other leaders. Third thing I want you to do is be considerate to mindful leadership. It's not a matter of, again, as John Maxwell says, some people are born into a position that makes them the leader. We've rejected that in North America. We believe that people earn their way. They're not by divine right or birthright put into a position of leadership. And so to be mindful means that you must be grateful and appreciative of the gifts that you've been given by God and nature, and that you're able to turn around and see people are following you. You may say, hey, I'm independently thinking, I'm leading, but if you turn around, as Mr. Darnell Self says, and nobody's there, that means that you're not leading. You think you're leading, but you're not leading. You want to make sure that you've got some people that are following you. By being mindful in your leadership, you're also being compassionate. Sometimes I will talk about ice cube, I, C to the third. You may remember in math, there's square roots, but then there's also cubes, or to the third power. IC3 is intelligence, charisma, compassion, and constitution. And I'm saying be mindful as a leader of how you impact others, and also to always be compassionate and considerate. The fourth thing I want to talk about today is, you want to create a solution and motivate others to follow it. See, leadership in many ways and thinking independently is being able to assess a situation and then to try and make it better. Leadership really is a series of constant improvements. To maintain confidence, to maintain leadership, to have people want to hear from you and to follow you, you need to be making consistent contributions to solving problems, reducing barriers, increasing accelerators for other people to be successful and happy. So, when we think about it in that sense, you want to create solutions and then motivate people to act upon those solutions and then demonstrate that those solutions are indeed successful for them. Fifth thing that I'd like to talk about today is really just an environment to create other leaders. For you to think independently, that's a liberating activity. You're thinking independently, thinking for yourself. How do you encourage and foster an environment where other people can do the same thing? Well, I'd like to separate out, how do you major in the majors and not major in the minors? What are the majors? Here with us, we like to think of the 10 core commitments, which I won't go through in detail right now, but know that here's a bedrock that's already done. You don't need to invent it again. You can stay disciplined on those things. Those are the majors. Where you want to minimize the minors is in the politics, the gossip, the backstabbing, the triangulation, all the things that we know destroy, rather than foster an environment for everyone to think for themselves, but also be part of a collective whole. And then the last thing that I would like to suggest that we consider today is that to think independently is also to recognize that your independence gives you an obligation to serve others, to nurture others, and to help others. That's our common why. Our purpose is to protect and empower. And that's what we share together, in addition to our own personal whys that motivate us each and every day. That's 5 Minutes Strong, and my name is Jeff Bell. And I promise you, I am just getting started, because at Legal Shield we believe, more than anything else, that the best